Good morning. Ralph Tucker here again with some more tidbits of hopefully knowledge, wisdom concerning how to walk with self control, self discipline in the kingdom of God. Today, I want to speak to you about studying to be quiet. First Thessalonians 4, verse 11 says, Study to be quiet, do your own business, work with your own hands. It's not easy to be quiet in today's world when you have so many voices coming at you from we have more channels on television now than ever before, more social media opportunities, more voices coming at us. When I was teaching or as a principal of a small charter school, I had one practice that I started the day of my classes. I started the school off. It was a small school, so we had a little less than 100 students. But every day we would line up in the hallway or my classrooms as a teacher. When I start off the class, I'd have 3 minutes of standing still, and the students were required to stand still. And if there was movement, if there was laughter, we would start over. Eventually, after a few weeks, it got to the place where students expected to be able to stand still and sometimes even desired to stand still. I remember once I had a student run in my office and tell me, Mr. Tucker, I need to do this exercise that you're saying because I'm about to be off the chain. Somebody's going to get hurt. She did the exercise and didn't have any more problems with her the rest of the day. Not only that, but suspensions went down. Fights in the school went down. Students were more focused. You know, there's a power in being able to control yourself, being able to control your emotions and your mind. The practice of sitting still or being quiet helps you to identify the voices first, then filter out the voices you don't want to hear, and then allow those good things to come in. Focus on what are doing your own business, doing the work of your hands. You know, there was a saying once, an old man once said, uh, learn to mind your own business. He said there are 24 hours in a day, 12 hours to tend to your business, and 12 hours to leave the other fellow's business alone. And if you add it up, that means 12 hours 24 hours to tend to your business. But I really believe that there is a power in our learning to be still, learning to be quiet. We have to learn that you cannot hear God. You cannot obey God if you can't hear Him. And you cannot hear God if you can't be still, especially when there are so many things that are contending for your attention in today's world. Study to be quiet. Be still for a minute. As many of my students found out, it's not always easy to be still. Those who were identified as ADHD or some kind of emotional disorder found that they were able to control themselves so much more when they took control of their bodies, took control of their minds, took control of their emotions. It's hard to poke somebody who is in control of themselves. It's hard to instigate a fight when you are in control of yourselves. So I pray that today there will be some excitement about gaining this control. Because once you're the boss of you, nobody else can be. Once you're the boss of you, you are in control of everything in your life, your emotions, your finances, even your prayer life. And your prayer life is important to being the boss of you because you want to make sure, as I said about the Garden of Eden, you want to make sure that you're listening to the voice that comes from God and not the voice that comes from Satan. I'm done. I pray that this has been some help to you today and that on your journey today, you will study to be quiet.